Hey friends, welcome back to my studio. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm gonna paint this cute chickadee. It's springtime. I need to paint birds for my show in June. I like the angle. It's like there's almost like a heart shape or a teardrop shape there. This reference photo is on Pixabay. I'll link it in this video's description. Let's jump in. Alrighty, let's set the table. This is a 5 by 7 inch cradled wood panel from US Art Supply. It's 1.5 inches thick. I really like these. There's a link. I have several links in this video's description if you're just curious and you want to check out some of the supplies I use. Hang on guys, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was favorite daughter Emily. She was calling while I was videoing. She needed a little help with something. Okay, so I was setting the table. I'm using so I talked about this. I wrote the word love on it with Hippie Crafter Chalk Pastel. I like it because it's a little harder. Yeah, it's a little harder. Kind of like a new pastel. So NU Pastel from Prismacolor. I happen to use Hippie Crafter. I'm using my primaries and I left the paint tubes at my other easel, so I'll just list them off. Titanium White, Mars Black, Cad Yellow Medium Hue, Quinacridone Magenta, and Phthalo Blue Green shade. I mixed a lot of yellow, just a pinch of magenta to make an orange. I'm gonna pull some of that orange out and make a rusty brown for the chickadee. Probably actually a dark brown and a rusty brown. You can use brown paint that you have in your studio. I used a lot of Cad Yellow Medium Hue and just a pinch of Phthalo Blue Green shade to make this green. Pulled some of it out, add yellow and white to make kind of a limey, minty green. And then this is just a little bit of Phthalo Blue Green shade, white, and some yellow to make an aqua color. And then while I was chatting with Emily, I went ahead and painted this. It's going to be an ornament, and that's basically, I mean, this will turn out different when I paint it, but I'm going to do something like that. And it's going to take layers because my colors are transparent. I think all of them are transparent. Okay, guys, I'm going to paint the background with a 1-inch filbert from Royal and Langnickel. As I mentioned, I have links to a lot of the supplies I use in this video's description. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Just a couple of quick comments. So I dried it even more than I showed in the time lapse. When in doubt, just dry it and put on your next layer so you don't get mud. I really wouldn't get mud except for maybe with the orange, but then it just goes a little brown. So that's really not a problem. I'm a little nervous about how colorful it is. It's very pretty. I really like it. But I want something happy. I'm taking cues from my reference photo. This looks more dull on video than it actually is in person. But see, there's some oranges and yellows in here. I left out the pink. It's too close to the edge and it might be okay, but just to be safer, I have darker down here, lighter up here. So I just want to let you know that's worrying me a little bit, that I get nervous when I paint. But the other thing too is this is a small painting, so I know I can get away with really bright colors. That can be fun, can be like a gift for people sometimes. This is a really strong bird and I'm painting it quite big. It's all the attention's gonna go up here because there's black, dark brown, white. I'm not gonna paint this branch like that with all the little thorns. I'm just gonna paint a simple branch. And then I'm gonna line this up a little bit towards the bottom. I have it 5 inches wide, but I have it a little short. But I even might pull it off just a little bit more, just to give it a little more headroom than tail room. I'm trying to find something to measure with. I'll try my palette knife. Can't totally see through my phone. Well, that's about equal, isn't it? I might pull it down even a little more. But it's really sticky. I've got so many layers of paint on it. It needs to dry, even though I've dried it with a hair dryer. So I'm going to work on some emails. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I don't know how long I've had this brush, and I don't use it every day. But it is a workhorse. I scrub with it on when I'm painting. I scrub it, you know, when I'm cleaning a brush, I'm scrubbing it like that. And it just takes a beating and keeps on going. It's really nice. And then I reshape it. I'm gonna have to get it wet to reshape it after I scrubbed it like that. There. Anyway, I just wanted to say I really like this. This is the Royal and Langnickel Zen line, which I mentioned earlier. Links below if you're curious and want to check them out. Really affordable. Okay, that definitely sounded like a commercial. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a little computer work, have some dinner, and I'll be back in a bit. I just wanted to pop in and get everybody up to speed with what I'm doing. So I'm sort of working back to front. Well, very much so if you consider I paint the background and then put the bird on top of it. But the branch is underneath the bird, so I painted that first. I put a little orange in it, which warms it up. I think that's a neat tip. You could put some yellow on it too. I put the foot on, and then not necessarily in this order, but the belly, these feathers are underneath these feathers, so I'm working on these feathers right now. I put in the highlight to remind me I want to highlight up here. And the eye is just painted blue right now. I'll refine the rings around the eye. The beak could be done. Let's give you a look at some of the stuff up close. The foot could be done. And actually, I'm kind of liking just sort of the wet on wet tail feathers. I drew in quite a few feathers. I don't know if I'm going to put all those in there. I'm using a number 1 round Simply Simmons. And then a 1/4 inch flat brush from Royal and Langnickel. Oh, you can't. I always, whenever I show this one, it's like there isn't any writing left on it. Just because it fits quite well. It's a little smaller. I could go a little bigger, but then it fits the smaller areas better on the feathers. As far as the colors, I think I already mentioned, but I'll say it again. I made a lot of orange, pulled out some of the orange. I think I added some magenta to it. Definitely added more black to it to get a black brown. This one you can see has more red in it. And then here I added some yellow to one of these browns just to have a more yellow brown to play with. Okay guys, I think that gets us up to speed. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, just a couple of quick comments. So I've been painting, oh gosh, for at least an hour. I've been meaning to put that in my videos a little more often. It just takes time and you go slow. And then I came back after I had a lot of this brown gray in here. I came back with some black. Oop, my brush is wet. And I didn't paint, here, I'm gonna grab my reference photo. Like there's a whole bunch of little fine lines. You can try and get them in there, but I didn't. I just kind of have one. And then I moved my sun. It's actually over here a little bit. It's a little lighter over here. I could lighten this up a little bit than it is over here. And the tail may need to be dark. Things may need to be darker, but I'm just playing. I just kind of have this puddle that keeps drying quick because I've got fans going. It's hot today. Let's go a little grayer. That's gonna be too dark. Let's see if that's light enough. I probably should kind of lighten this up a little bit. You could use a liner brush too. No, I don't know if I like that. We'll see how that dries. And so now I'm going to paint. I'm basically working my way up because the feathers, these feathers are on top of these feathers and they're little. So you don't have to paint every one. They're little, they're short. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I'm going to lighten this stuff up with my kneaded eraser. I just want to pop in that this took a while. And I didn't follow every, as I mentioned, I didn't follow every feather. I just gave you the gist of it. Okay, guys, I'll be back. Oh, wait a second. Maybe you want to see it closer. I just heard somebody, hey, show us closer. That was you, thanks. I didn't show every one of them. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, what do you think? I like the lighting on the Chickadee. It's pretty. The chestnut back chickadees are pretty. There's a couple different varieties. I think of varieties as more like flowers, but species. There we go. That's fun. I'm looking at it through my phone. It looks a little busy in person, or maybe it's because it's similar values. I could have gone lighter or darker. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. So I made, I did some brush strokes to help around the back, and then I glazed with orange, or I glazed with a rusty red. I think that's really nice. I like that. I like when the colors are transparent. You can do that. I'm thinking and trying to talk. I made the eye bluer than in the reference photo. So there's the eye in the reference photo. Oh, and I made the face a little, I pushed the cheek out a little bit more. I made it wider right here. All right, let's do a screenshot. And then we'll do a quick tour. Oh, that's really pretty. That looks really pretty as I'm looking through my phone. It doesn't look as intense in color in person there. Oh, the orange is kind of nice and it goes to yellow. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, quick tour. I'm slowly getting looser as I paint. If you go back and look at old videos, I was definitely tighter, so that's fun. Nothing wrong with either way. Gosh, it might be even another couple hours later. It's 3:45 now. I don't remember what the last time was when I checked in with you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will link, I've got a Chickadee traceable or two and a more recent Chickadee painting with a teal background. I'll link that in this video's description. I don't remember what I just said. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always fun to chat with you. Great big happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye guys.